Vocation, Heart and Soul.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one here from the Vocation Brewery, based up in Yorkshire. And believe me, I really don't want to be reviewing beer in this weather. I really want to be out on the motorbike and burning up a few miles, but I don't think that's going to happen this summer, which is really pissing me off. So that's going to mean more beer reviews, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever way you look at it. I had to go down to the co-op today and get some essentials, and I just had a quick browse through their beer chiller, and I found a can of this lurking in there, so I thought I'd get it. I've done a few of the Vocation Brewery stuff before, and to be honest, it's been a bit hit and miss. The Life and Death I didn't think much of. There was a couple of others that I did, and I can't remember the names of them, but they was reasonably okay. But they are from Yorkshire, and I was reading the can before I started the video, and in between shooting out a fucking wasp. I don't know what it is with them bastards, but they just tend to fucking just sort of congregate around me and just annoy me. Little fuckers, I hate them. Anyway, back on track. I've just been reading all the gump from the side of the can, and from what I can get from this, it's a session New England IPA. Now, I could be wrong on that, but they are making a big thing. I'll read it out to you. Well, no, I won't. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just tell you a bit about Vocation. Vocation are based up in Yorkshire, as I say. They are based in a place called Hebden Bridge, which I've heard of, but it's up in Yorkshire, and they do quite a few. And Co-op and Tesco stock quite a few of their beers. They're quite big in the supermarkets, and I don't know whether that's sort of, you know, because they're brewing these big batches. I don't know whether that's going to affect their sort of quality. You know, do you know, I actually worked this out the other day. Just bear with me a sec on this one. I was talking about supermarket beers when I was doing the Twisted Knot review. I've done that a while back. I think I've done that in February, but I was just trying to work it out, and I remember on the side of the can it said brewed in small batches. So you think, all right, okay, small batches. Now your idea of small batch and their idea of a small batch may be different. So I worked it out that there were 5,000 Aldi stores in the UK, and just say every single one of them stocked, say, 24, which is a crate, right? So that's 24. So 24 times 330ml times 5,000. That is a lot, and I think I worked it out to, I think it was 120,000 cans or something like that. Now I don't know whether that's a big batch or that's 330ml cans. I don't know whether you consider that a big batch or small batch anyway. But I'm just wondering whether the quality can sort of waver. And I'd imagine that Tesco's have got more stores than Aldi, so, and they're doing this for the co-op as well. We've got more stores, so, and I see them in most of them I've been in. So I'm not sure, whether they can maintain this quality. Anyway, I'm completely going off topic here. So let's get back to this beer. Vocation make a mission statement saying we brew very bold beers and serve punchy pints because that's the way we like them. Do you know what? I think I should be reading this in a Yorkshire accent. From our hilltop in Yorkshire, we'd rather set benchmarks than trends, and only make beer that we're proud of to put our name on. If that it's what drives us, it's what made us, it's our vocation. That is probably the worst fucking Yorkshire accent you will ever hear. And yeah, that's the Vocation Brewery. Let's get on to this beer. What is this beer? It is in a 330ml can. It is billed as a session IPA. It's 4.4%. in the volume, so you can work out yourself whether that's a session or not, sessionable. It's boasting, or it's making sort of big boasts about, this is our brewery's heart and soul, created to have all the hoppy goodness of an IPA, but brewed to a sessionable strength. Its intense fruit salad character comes from the generous additions of US West Coast hops. A full-bodied and fruity beer with notes of passion fruit, grapefruit, gooseberry, pineapple and mango. Golden yellow colour, tropical fruit aroma, citrus fruit taste. Now to me that, that does sort of tend to make me think of East Coast, and it's got fruity written on the side, so yeah. So that's it, there's the front of the can. Heart and soul. There is the back of the can. Let's get it open and let's see what is on the nose. Right, out of the can. Grapefruit bitterness, some sweet fruit, and the mango and the passion fruit that they talk about. I know I keep repeating myself when I smell these very citrusy beers, saying, oh, it smells of grapefruit, taste of mango and passion fruit. That is the taste that you get from American hops. I know it's a cliche, there's no other way to describe it. This is what it is. I feel like a fraud because I keep repeating myself, but that's how it tastes. Anyway, let's get into the glass. Now, they do say that this is cloudy and it has possibly got some sediment in it. It is certainly lively, and the saga of the dishwasher continues. I've just bought some new dishwasher tablets. I was using the cheap old Aldi ones, but I've got some half decent ones. So this could potentially be the last time you see bubbles clinging to the side of the glass. But there is a huge amount of carbonation in there. A foamy three finger white head that is dissipating quite rapidly. Huge bubbles in that head. On the nose. More of the same. Grapefruit bitterness. But more sweet fruit. Mango, passion fruit. I'm getting some orange in that. And even some peach in that as well. It smells great. Let's get it down the hatch before the head disappears. Cheers. Yeah, to be honest, that is a pretty good description of what it is. There's the grapefruit bitterness all the way through it. You've got the big fruity flavours on there too. The mango and the passion fruit. But mouthfeel is not good at all. See the size of them bubbles? I know some of them are stuck to the side of the glass. See the size of them bubbles? That's what you're getting in the mouth. And it's not very smooth drinking. And to be honest, I would have preferred it to be much smoother drinking. This is the difference between the Northern Monk stuff and their stuff. I do find that they tend to put a lot of carbon dioxide in it, because that does help preserve the beer. And of course, supermarkets are going to want a long shelf life. So this was brewed. So this has got a shelf life of a year. This was canned on the 12th of August last year, and this expired on the 12th of August this year. Now, to be honest, this beer is August, September, October, November, December, February, March, April. This beer's nearly 9 months old. Now, most other beers, that wouldn't be a problem. But on these really, hoppy, fruity beers, I think 6 months, personally, the fresher the better, I think. And I think they've done that to, you know, placate the supermarkets. I'm just looking at the carbonation on that, and it's still going for it now. And again, it's still there. You can hear. I don't know if you can hear this or not. I'll put it up to the mic. But it is really full of carbonation. And I don't really like that in a New England IPA. I don't like it in any beer, to be honest, even lager. I prefer a smoother mouthfeel, small bubbles. That is the sign of a good beer. This has got large bubbles, and it's still going for it. They must have put so much carbon dioxide in this. I'm not a fan, to be honest. It's got the usual sort of flavours, but that mouthfeel is ruining it for me. That had the potential to be quite good, but that, as I say, the carbonation has just killed it. It's given it a, you know, I'm comparing this to the other stuff, the Northern Monk stuff, and they brew stuff for the supermarkets too. They brew stuff for Morrison's, and it's great, and they're from Yorkshire as well. So I think that's a pretty good comparison. But this stuff, maybe I've got an old can. Maybe if I've got a newer can, it might taste different. But I can only go on what I've been given, and I will be marking this particular can. So what's the verdict? Well, the verdict on this is a potentially good beer ruined by excessive amounts of carbonation. The carbonation seems to be slightly calming down now, but it's still a hell of a lot in there. It's shot itself in the foot there, to be honest. And again, Vocation are turning into a hit and miss brewery for me. As I say, I can only go on the cans that I'm drinking. There's people there probably going to be watching this and saying, "Oh, but the fucking beer you get in the brew house, and you know the stuff you get up north in the pubs, which has come from the brewery, yeah, it's fresher. It's probably going to taste nicer." It's nearly 9 months old, and you know, beer does have a shelf life. I don't care what anyone says, especially stuff like this with that hop flavour in it. And you know, hops do deteriorate over time. They don't stay fresh forever. It's like anything, and they start to lose their flavour. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And I'm going to say, if you see it, look at the shelf life. If it's quite new, get it. If it's like this, 9 months or older, don't bother. I think you're going to be disappointed. Maybe I've been spoilt. Maybe I've been drinking that Northern Monk stuff, and you know, 5 out of 10, not really recommended. Well, it's recommended depending on the date. And remember, beer is working class champagne.